Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Malika Anderson from Malika Speaks and Malika Speaks TV, and this Love Your Damn Self podcast. Podcast, broadcast, episode, whatever. I am back at you again, your lovely host, again with today's episode. And today's episode is going to be entitled The 3 Times I Hated Myself Because. I think that's what we're going to call it. The 3 times I hated myself because. And in a few minutes, you're going to find out because of what. We're going to get into all that in a minute, okay? Because I discovered it. I hated myself. Somebody brought it to my attention. It was all part of, my awareness process, and I'm going to share my real and personal experience and story time with you guys, which I hope you will grow to love as much as I'm going to love doing it for you. All right. So first, I want to say this show is all about self-love and healing and real talk, right? And I just want to show some gratitude today and gratefulness because this is my first show episode. Now, I've done a little bit of social media. I've done a little bit of TV, a little bit of radio. And I've done some podcasting, and I've interviewed people and done lots of, before it was called podcasting, I did it. But this, I guess, will be my first official show. So I want to let you know that. Please show some kindness and compassion to me. I'm going to make mistakes along the way. We're going to grow along the way. But the main thing is that I'm really excited to be able to share with you and communicate with you in this way, because my purpose is to connect with my people. I like to connect with my audience intimately, right? Because I understand that there are a group of, or a community of people who desire to hear me. So this gives me the opportunity to be able to do that and to really share my gift of storytelling, which is an avenue that I really haven't opened up all that much. I write, and some of you guys may know me for that, and I'm always telling my stories, but this just gives me a different opportunity to do that. So I'm looking forward to providing you with content that can help to enlighten you, that can help you to cope with your life, by loving yourselves a little bit better, or loving your damn self, as we say on this show. So I'm really, really excited about doing that. And I just want to acknowledge you all. I want to acknowledge you all. I want to honor you all. I don't want us ever to forget that, right? Being grateful, showing gratitude, and acknowledging and honoring each other. So I acknowledge you all, and I honor you all for stopping by and just listening to the show with me today. Now, the other thing, I'm going to try to keep it, because, I could be long-winded. I'm one of them long-winded people, but I have really gotten better at that in my latter years. So we're going to try to keep these shows, hey, if it's an hour, if it goes on, it goes on. I just hope you will be here to listen. So now that we got all the preliminaries out the way, there'll be lots of links and stuff that I'm going to add in that you can listen to the show on Spotify. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. There'll be other avenues that you can listen to it. But this is going to be my main platform where I tape everything and kind of edit everything and do it in here. And then as we grow, we'll see what happens, okay? So you're here to talk. Let's do it. Let's talk. Now, listen, there was 3 times in my life that I really hated myself. I'm not talking about dislike myself. I'm not talking about, just a little. I'm talking about hate it. Hate is a strong word. It's a strong emotion. And these times, I'm just going to get right to it. When I hated myself was when I realized I was too black and too ugly. That's what they told me. I was too mad and too angry. That's what they told me. And I was too damn self-righteous and wrong all the time, thinking I'm right all the time. And I wanted to share that experience with you today. I remember all of them distinctly because they all really impacted my life. All were a part of my disconnection with loving myself. Yeah, that part. My disconnection from loving myself, understanding how to love myself. And I believe that there are women out there today that have either been in one of these type of predicaments, or you know somebody in these type of predicaments, right? So I'm gonna break them down for you. The first time was an awareness. I believe it was somewhere around 4 or 5. That's my earliest recollection of it. And I never knew I was too black. I never knew I was dark. I never knew, anything about color, because like little kids don't see color like that. They see, do you have some candy? I want to play with you. Things like that. They didn't see color. And I think I recall somebody saying I was too black. I was too black and I was too ugly. And that thing got into my subconscious and it sat there. Now, although I'm talking to all women, I know that women of color can relate to me when I say there is colorism in our community. So there was colorism in our community, and especially at that time when I grew up. It was like, if you were too dark, you weren't good enough, or people tried to make you feel like you weren't good enough. And if you were light, they tried to make you feel like you were better. And that's just the way it was. So long before I ever even arrived on this earth plane, this type of behavior was going on. And so it was brought to my attention that I was too black and too ugly. And it subconsciously got into my spirit. And I carried that around with me for a very long time, because it just, it graduated. The behavior perpetuated in my community and with people. It's like the older I got, the worse that I got. And I really believed that I was, worthless, that I wasn't good enough because I was dark. They said, Malika, you're dark, you're smart, you got hair. I mean, it was just one thing after another after another. And I was bullied very horribly all of my elementary school years. I was bullied. So, I began to have a hate for myself. I was very disconnected from loving myself. And to be quite honest, there wasn't anyone in my life at that time, telling me that I was good enough, that I was pretty enough, that I tried to communicate all these feelings, to my parent and to my mom. Let's just be honest. I tried to communicate what was going on with me, and it was just brushed off and not taken into consideration. And, it put me deeper and deeper into a depression. And I hated my damn self, like I did. And it grew and grew and grew and grew. Now I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to let you just, let that sit with some of you for a while. Some of you who may have faced that same experience, or someone, if you black and you alive, someone who has dealt with that experience. The second time in my life where I realized that I hated myself was when it was brought to my awareness that I was too mad. So now you're too damn black, you're too damn ugly, now you're too damn mad, okay? Because of what had happened with me, with subconsciously not liking myself, hating myself, thinking I was too dark and I wasn't of value and I couldn't do very much. I couldn't really show up in this world the way that I wanted to, coupled with abuses that were happening in my life. It began to give me a lot of anger and a lot of rage. Because I was suppressing everything that I was feeling, I couldn't really express myself. And so I was the girl who walked around with a chip on her shoulder. And if you said something to me, you hear that? I was going clap, 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 clap back on your ass. Before clap back was a thing, I was clapping back. From the very earliest, I can remember first grade, always getting in trouble. It was always for talking. talking. And they would call me a chatty patty. And if somebody said something to me, I would say something to them. And if I didn't say something, I was thinking about saying something. So thus, I developed this chip on my shoulder, but it really was a protective mechanism for me because of being picked on and not feeling valued and not understanding how to express my feelings. So now I'm the black ugly girl who's graduated to the black angry ugly girl. You understand what I'm saying? I thought these things about myself. And when I was I think I got my first job, or my first real job, maybe, I don't know, around 17, 18 or so. And I remember I was with my friend and we was in the cafeteria and I was just, going off about something for the day. And an older woman walked over to me and kindly pulled me aside and said something like, honey, you got a terrible attitude. And if you don't stop, it's going to end you up, dead or in jail. Something like that. To those words, not her exact words, so don't quote me. But it was just an older woman. She wasn't really dropping no wisdom that day. She was just letting me know, bringing to my awareness. I don't know if you know, but you got a terrible damn attitude. And that was the first time I realized it, like, damn, I really do got a terrible attitude. And people were saying it all along, but I wasn't really understanding that awareness until she brought it to my attention that day. I think it was because she was a maternal figure and I respected my elders. And so I began to really do some soul searching, what we call soul searching, and I hated the fact that I was angry, that I had become this person and I wanted to change, and thus begin the change in my life. It really did. It was, I was into self-improvement and self-help and how could I be better and how could I tackle the issues. It was my first layer of healing, but that was the second time in my life that I hated myself. Okay, this third time might be a little sensitive. Okay, because I know there's two things I try to stay away from with people. That is politics and religion. Because those are really the heartstrings, of people's life. They are very sensitive about that. But I have to talk about it from my experience and my truth. Okay, so we talked about how when I was in my younger years, subconsciously I picked up this too black, too ugly thing. And then kind of in the middle of the years in the teens and going on up, I picked up this too mad and too angry thing. Well, to disguise all of that, now once I got through, remember the first layer of healing, just the first level, where I came into the awareness and I wanted to heal myself and be better and whatever, I stumbled into, I'm not going to say I stumbled into because my family was already, I'm going to say religious, but not the way I was practicing, right? So I kind of really came into it for myself, not my mama's religion or my grandma's religion or my daddy's religion. It was the first time it was real to me. And I ended up practicing Christianity. And I believe because of the way, again, how I was raised, the things that I had gone through, my own personal things, I needed something at that time to hold on to. I needed something to make me feel better because I felt like I was bad and I was doing bad things. So now I find religion and I can be good. You're telling me that I can be good and I'm not really a bad person and da. So anyway, I wanted to keep it to the letter. I was one of those people that wanted to keep, if the Bible said don't drink, I ain't gonna drink. If the Bible said don't cuss, I ain't gonna cuss. I ain't gonna have sex. I'm not gonna drive my car too fast. It was just, it was very extreme. Now that I look back, it was very extreme for me in my life and probably the people that were in my life. And I began to practice this, Christianity in my life, and I became very self-righteous. Now, again, like the too angry thing, it being brought to my awareness, it was little subtle signs of people always bringing it to my awareness, but I lacked understanding. I did not have the knowledge or the experience to equate that into something, to articulate that into what I was actually being. And the moment that I realized what I was doing and saying, how I was acting and being, which was too damn self-righteous, and that you don't know everything, and that you're wrong. I was just wrong about a whole host of things. You understand? But when I realized that, it was like, again, boom, now we're back here again with I hated myself. I hated what I had become. I hated what I had done to people, to others, how I had treated them. And I had to own that. I had to really own that in my life. And all of these things were a culmination of one within the other. You understand? It goes back to what I was saying about it was all a part of my disconnection from loving myself. Just like you maybe not have had one of those experiences, but may have had an experience similar. And so on this podcast, us always talking about loving ourselves, but it's through the experience that we go through and that we have had that allows us to realize that we weren't loving ourselves, that we could come to this place where we could start to do that a little better, right? So we all, go through things. That's what I want to say. There's not one of us out there in this stratosphere that has not gone through something. You as a woman, me as a woman, what I like to do, what I believe that I'm called here and sent here on this earth to do is to uplift humanity. But within uplifting humanity is to speak to women, all types of women. I mean, through I don't even like to say career, my 30-year career or whatever of dealing with women, every type of a woman you can imagine, every situation you can imagine. It's like with anything, if you do it over and over and over and over again, you become very good at it. You become the master at it. You become the go-to. You become the expert in this field. And that's how I like to look at myself with the women, even the women that I'm speaking to today, giving you a little piece of something powerful. Now, I could say, believe me, I told you, I'm long-winded. So I could sit on here 2 hours and go and go and go. And so a lot of wonderful cliches and quotes and stuff you want to hear to make you feel good. But ain't nobody got time for that. I want to get you the most power-packed information within this half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever it is that you could take and you could actually apply it to your life. There's never going to be anything that I share with you that you can't take today. When we get done, when this is over, you're done listening and apply it to your life. So I want to leave you with this, okay? First of all, you must find the love you need for yourself. No one can do that for you. You have to do it for yourself. Okay, meaning you got to search for it until you do. Now, you may embark on your journey. You may have embarked on it, earlier than I had, or, later, or you feel like you're a little lagging in life. But you cannot love others properly until you first love yourself, your damn self. So you got to discover it. You have to have awareness to what's going on. Then you have to work on it. And you have to do your own soul work. Never be too afraid to, admit your faults. Because we all have them. Who am I to judge you? And who are you to judge me? We just have to go through life and ultimately do the best that we can. It's a part of your growing. And it's a part of your accepting. It's a part of accepting all of the things about you that you don't even like. And that's what I realized, being really disconnected from myself and the love for myself, not just with these experiences, with others that I'm going to share for you, is that it was about growing and accepting and learning my lessons and being able to deal with them and move forward. Now, I just shared with you today the 3 times I really hated myself. I didn't talk about the 1,000 times I didn't like myself. Right? Or the 10 million times that I was disappointed in myself. No, I just shared with you 3 little times where I really did hate myself and where, I had landed up in my life. And it's because I lack self-love. I lack self-love. I lack compassion for myself. I lack kindness for myself, understanding. There was knowledge that I was missing and forgiveness for myself and all that. But when I became aware, I was able to heal. It wasn't until I became aware of what was going on that I was able to heal. So I hope by what I've shared with you today that you were able to heal a little bit, just a little piece. Don't look at healing as a pizza. Now, I don't know about you, but I love pizza. It's just one of them things that I love. And I could eat a whole pizza. But the thing is, my stomach don't really work like that anymore at this age and stage of the game. So I probably could eat a slice or two. But I still want to eat the whole pizza. So you know what I learned to do? Eat a slice or two. That's what I can handle. Then, guess what? When I'm done with that, I might go back for another slice. When I'm done with that, I might go back for another slice. Then the next day, I might finish it off. You know what I mean? You got to pace yourself. A lot of people think that life and the issues that we face, you got to run through them real fast. And you want to accomplish it and you want to get there. But life is a balance. It is a beautiful dance. It is a harmonious journey that we must learn that we really only have a level of control in it. Because most of life, in the way that it happens, it just happens. It's not something that you plan for or that you prepared for or any of that. It just happened to you. And I think we can get so, I know me. Okay, let me just talk about me. I used to get so consumed with fixing the past that I was focused on the future, but I was never really present. I just wasn't present. I didn't smell the flowers. I didn't look up at the trees. I didn't say it's sun shining today because I was either focused on fixing the past or moving forward with the future. So I'm a lot more present. And you have to learn how to become a lot more present in your life. That's how you really heal. You become more present in your life. Grateful, gratitude. Like we started out with gratitude, we can end up with gratitude. Just being grateful for where we are today. If you're not there yet, it's okay. I want to encourage you to keep going, to keep trying. To even with your sisters, I always say share with another queen. Lift another queen up. Lift another woman up. Give somebody some encouragement. You may be the lady that pulled me in. Now I become that lady. You might be the lady that pulled me aside and said, hey, what's going on here? You understand what I'm saying? So I think as the older women, we have a responsibility to teach the younger women. I always looked at myself as kind of being somewhat in the middle, right? Being a gap bridger. I'm not so haughty that I can look down on the young people or, tell them you're doing this, you're doing that, without bridging the gap between my generation and the young women that are coming up today. Yeah, it's a heavy responsibility, and we have to lift one another up. We have to encourage one another on the journey. So I just wanted to encourage you today, maybe motivate you and inspire you a little bit. I didn't get deep in the story time, but believe me, I am. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we got a lot of time to do it. So I hope that this encouraged you today. Stop by, leave a comment. Let me know, Malika, I really enjoyed that, or I really got something out of that, and I want to hear more of that. Send me your topics that you want to talk about, all that. We're going to get into all that, okay? And I want to make sure that you guys know to follow me. Just make sure that you follow me on social media. You can follow me on Facebook at Malika L. Anderson. Or really follow me on Instagram. That's where I post mostly everything at Real Talk with Malika. So RealtalkWithh, Malika, Malika. So Real Talk with Malika on IG. And you can follow me on Facebook at Malika L. Anderson. You can also follow me on Twitter at, I believe it's Real Talk Malika. But anyway, follow me. Let's talk. Let's keep in touch. And I'll be back next week. Love you.